We are joined here by head coach Chris Armas. We'll go ahead and get started on his general thoughts on tonight's match.
I'd first like to acknowledge our fans once again. They come out in good numbers and support the team. Gave us good energy on the night, on a rainy night. They still came out and supported us. We don't take that lightly. So we would have loved to send them home with all the points, or some points. So we're disappointed for that. And in reference to the game, it's a strange one. I'm not sure we'll play a lot of ones like that where, the first half we think put things on our terms in many ways and score two. We score three more that maybe I have not seen them back, but I think most importantly that we played some of our best football actually in the first half. But I think we also have to give San Jose credit then. They hung in there. They had a plan that they executed. They forced some coincidence with some set pieces and direct play, get themselves back in it, and they go into the locker room with some momentum. And emotionally, did we ever recover from it? Not sure, but we tried to get a rhythm in that second half. We tried to push and be aggressive with some substitutions in our play, but we really didn't bring our best stuff in that second half. And we'll probably all be disappointed with the third goal that we gave up. We were loose and very unlike us. So, look, again, I'll credit San Jose for they are a good team, better than their record shows in my opinion, and they made it hard for us in that second half, and they hung in there after taking some blows in the first half. So it's a strange one, and that's the story. We have to be better, and we will be. Get back, dust ourselves off. Wednesday becomes really important again, so and we'll ramp it up.
Chris, Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave, as you said, 3 goals that are called offside. Is that does that come down to bad luck? I'm not questioning the officiating, or is that is there something that you guys could have handled better in some of those transition moments?
Oh, Matt, I'm sure that there'll be things we could do better on always. We're always looking at how to improve, but when goals are scored, of course, there's little breakdowns, and we would. It's never really one person, so I'm sure there's structural things, some individual things, but this is football. You watch the Premier League today, we can walk through every same stuff.
I'm wondering the fact that it was 3 offsides. If you see any similarity or like something systematic that could be worked upon, or is it just
the disallowed goals of ours?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? No, listen. Again, most of it was results of really good football. 2 of them are probably really close, which I'm not so sure. One is, I think Kevin bumps a guy because he's in offside position and looks like some embellishment from that player. So if you touch the player, if you're in an offside position, you touch the player, was he in an offside position? So it looked like he got hit in his stomach and he's holding his neck. So it's a little strange, that one. Is he in an offside position? So it's, again, I've not analyzed the play. But that's it. I mean, they make the calls. So that's it. We score 2, and maybe that should be enough. But yeah. You'll never hear an excuse out of me nor the players, hopefully. It's what we just talked about. So, again, it's a strange one. You score 5 goals in the first half, right? So if we're offside 3 times, that's it. There's nothing more to it. not much to look into with that.
Hi, Coach Keith Richards, Team MBS Media. So you have a quick turnaround. You face Vancouver on Wednesday. How do you both properly address the loss tonight and quickly move on to prepare for Vancouver in just a couple days?
Yeah, Keith, the way we address the loss is the way we address the wins. Like we get better. We take from it. We always learn. Do you learn more from the losses? We're analyzing the wins the same. So I think if we give up a goal in certain ways, we have to keep getting better at who we are, whether it's a set piece, whether it's a transition, or a structural, defensive organization. So there's not a whole lot to say in that locker room. We talked about the 2 halves. We talked about the reality of that. Talked about what's ahead. Got to get ready for Wednesday. And that's 12 for 12 now, meaning 12 really tough games so far. and with that, with most of them or a majority being on the road so far, for us, I think we're still in sixth place. Disappointing. Maybe we could have jumped to second on the night, but we'll be back. We quickly get back to work and get it ready for another tough one, but especially a good one at home for us to rebound and go after it.
Chris, on a lighter note, Rafa doing a lot of good work without the ball, and then obviously getting rewarded with a goal, and then Omir building on what he did last Sunday in New York. What have you liked from them? What, in terms of their run of form and what they've worked on to get these opportunities and get these rewards?
Yeah, look, it's really good to see Rafa do what he did tonight. Scored in the run of play. He was sharp in many ways. The header's great. He's closely in with Omir on a bunch of plays. The attack was firing on all cylinders for a good stretch there. He's a focal point. Part of that was Omir, who you're asking about, looked really sharp on the night. I think he looked comfortable. Scores a really good one that gets taken back, and it's good that he gets one too. So, yeah, both those guys I thought were pretty good on the night, and we're not surprised with Rafa. I mean, he scores regularly in training, and if we give him more looks and his confidence keeps coming, there'll be more to come.
Hey, Chris. So speaking of Navarro, there's about 9 games before his loan is set to expire. Just speaking hypothetically, like, what would it mean to the team if he wasn't there after those 9 games?
Well, I think everyone at our organization, from the top of the organization to the locker room, we like him. We all appreciate him as a footballer, a football that fits into the way we want to play, a football that fits into the culture piece of things. He's a human being that's high character. He works hard. So in these situations, it becomes a negotiation in many ways. So it has to make sense for both sides, and we'll do our part. But you hope that these things work out, and if not, you move forward, and then it's opportunity elsewhere. But to be clear, we really like him. I think he's happy here, but we got to see where that one goes.
Chris, talk me through the approach tactically towards the end of the game. Mike Edwards comes on, makes his MLS debut, but as far as we could tell, Jonathan Lewis in an outside wide back position. Feel free to correct me. What was the idea, shape, intent, trying to third?
So I think if you're tactically you're asking the questions, so then you're watching the game and things will look a little flat, right? We're trying to get the offense going. So we took off both fullbacks, went with 3 in the back, and that was it. 3 in the back, right? We play with 3 defenders. We're in a 3-2-5 shape. We have 2 wingers on. For sure on the night, in that moment, we can defend with 5, 2 6s and 3 in the back. So we had 2 wingers on as we needed a goal. If we're up a goal and trying to defend the lead, maybe you go to maybe 4-5-1, 5-4-1. You can think about that. But for us, it was a 3-2-5. Occupying the 5 lanes up the pitch, 2 strikers, Georgi Mihalovic in the 10 with 2 dynamic wingers trying to unlock a stingy defense. So, again, as a coaching staff, tactically, we're trying to push the game, spark the offense, bring all the attack that we can possibly do still with some structure that makes some sense. So, Johnny had a few moments. You can see he got by a few times. It's some close actions. Calvin, it's just tried to spark it there, Matt. We tried to push and do our job as a coaching staff, and wasn't quite enough. But that was the idea behind it.
Chris, this was Connor Runman's first game since he went down against RSL. What have you seen from him in training, and how did you feel about his performance being back for the first time tonight?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's great to have Connor back. Wish the night would have went differently for the team, and then he can feel part of that victory. But I'm sure he's thrilled. Just really, when a guy like him, who one of his big assets is his passion and love for the game, when it gets taken from you from injury, you lose yourself a little bit. To see him back moving and training, and he immediately injects quality into what we try to do. Personality on the pitch. He's a guy that's can break lines and always thinking to play forward, set pieces, things like this. So, yeah, it's good to have him back, and we'll keep the rhythm going, get him sharper and sharper.
Chris, last one for me. Talk to me about the bench decisions. You have Connor and Johnny coming back from injuries and Diak does not make the bench, maybe as a result, maybe separately. You're thinking in terms of what you had on the bench for tonight.
Yeah, these are tough decisions that I don't take lightly. It's the thing as a coach that might bother most, at least me, the minutes. You know, it's the thing, it's the precious commodity. And every week there'll be four or five players unhappy, right? That's just the reality. So you mentioned Diak, but there's others. You know, Lawless is, doesn't get minutes here and there, but he's going to play with our second. He's going to get minutes. So there's, we talk about Diak, but there's other players. So make a decision based on what we think's best for the game on the night, especially in the midfield. Yeah, there's him and Jasper and Connor coming back. So yeah, don't take those lightly. And but I know that I'll sit here as long as I'm here. Hopefully, I'd like to be here a long time, but I'll never be able to not be able to say that I make a decision that's not best for the team. So that's what I thought was best on the night.
Coach, Michael Edwards with his official MLS debut tonight. What have you seen from him in training, his minutes with the second team leading to this appearance tonight, and what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, look, we acknowledge it in the locker room that it's a debut for him, and he's waited a long time for it. He's put a lot of sweat equity into this thing. He's a pro, let me tell you. The way he shows up every day, pushes his teammates, never complains, attentive to the details, runs for the team, encouraging, goes and plays with the second team and makes them better every time. Eric Boucher, our second team coach, says, anytime I can have him, please send him my way. So we have a lot of trust in him. He's a guy that we say is very reliable around here. And, of course, we could have left a fullback in, but if we're going to be with three in the back, to Matt's question, we have three to do the work of four, right? We didn't want those guys coming back really defend, the wingers, that he's a reliable piece. So, again, like in Connor's case, for Mikey to get the minutes would have been great if it's part of the victory. But, yeah, that'll come in time. Thanks, everyone.
right. We're joined here by defender Keegan Rosenberry. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts on tonight's match.
Disappointing. You know, one of our best halves of football in the first half. You know, some really good attacking stuff and quite a few goals, couple called back, and unfortunately on the night, start the second half, emotionally, I don't think we recovered from goals being called back, having the game tied, then being in the game. It was a 0-0 game at the start of the second half, and our message was to come out and start with the same energy we did, and we failed. Failed to do that, and couldn't really recover in the second half because of it. Couldn't get in our rhythm, didn't create enough, didn't look like the same team, to be honest. So things to learn from for sure, and a quick turnaround for Wednesday.
Keegan, Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave, looking at what happened defensively, 2 late goals in the first half, and then I think 66-minute whatever from Christian Espinoza, kind of some defensive breakdowns. And this past, so far this season, you guys have been really compact, organized on top of those types of situations. What was different about tonight, or what didn't work?
Yeah, I'll have to watch it back and kind of, get a little bit more detail and context and how things go. But, one's a set piece, and we pride ourselves on being the best set piece team in the league, and that's attacking and defending. So, that one hurts, but, it happens very, very rarely. So, we take that one on the chin. And I think the most frustrating one is the third one for sure. And I think it happens in the run of play, and I don't think we're in the right spots. We talk about rest defense when we have the ball, and being in the right spots just in case something happens, what if? And I don't think we're in the spots to prevent that. And like I said, it's kind of difficult to recall exactly the plays, but just in the first half, just a couple plays where we switch off. I think both of them happen relatively soon after we score. Those 5 minutes after a goal is scored are really important to stay kind of hyper-focused. And, part of my job is to try to get the group to do that, and we failed to do that. So, we paid the price for it.
Hey, Keegan, Keith Richards, Team MBS Media. A lot of talk so far this season has been about how hungry the team is. When you have a loss like this and you have a quick turnaround on Wednesday against Vancouver, does it make the team more hungry to come out and have a good performance, or is it just business as usual?
I think so. Even in New York City after a loss at Cincinnati, it's a young team that wants to prove to everyone, prove to ourselves, how good we are, and especially at home. I think we've all been disappointed by our home form. Somehow we're doing a little bit better away from home, and it's just another chance to prove that. And the people that come to these games week in and week out deserve that. So I think that's what we're most eager for, is to give these people what they deserve. And like you said, a quick turnaround. It's less time to think about it, and need to move on. And we can think about this one for today, and then tomorrow we get right into preparation for Wednesday.
Would you say the less time to think about it is beneficial in a situation like this?
My gut reaction is yes, just because get right into preparation for the next opponent. But I still think yes. Yeah, I think we'll learn the right things from it. It was a little bit of a weird one tonight. A lot of goals called back, and like I said, some of our best stuff in the first half, and then what I felt like was not ourselves in the second half. So I think the short turnaround is good for us.
Keegan, on a lighter note, Amir, building on what he did this past Sunday, what have you liked from how he's built up to this as well, and how much is that making life easier for you as a right back playing with a right midfielder?
I think he looked even more confident than he was last week today, and especially for an attacking player, that's everything. When a guy, for me as a defender, is running at me and he's full of confidence and just willing to try whatever may or may not work, it's hard to defend. It's hard to prepare for that. And he had a couple of good strikes tonight, and another good weapon for us. More depth in attacking positions, and something that we haven't had before, and he's done really well with his opportunities. It's difficult in attacking positions. You get rotated a little bit more often than in the back, and these guys have been sharp. They've taken their opportunities well.
For Navajo, it looks like he had another good game. He's had a string of a few really good games in a row. from your perspective from behind, what do you see that's finally clicking between him and the midfield that gets him those opportunities?
Yeah, Rafa does so much, outside of scoring goals. He's been scoring goals recently, and it's been fun to see. But he does so much outside of that I think is really important for our team. And we talk a lot about without the ball. His ability to defend from the front, defend coming back towards the ball when guys have their back to him. But his link-up play and his ability to hold the ball up and bounce passes off to guys that are arriving underneath him is really special. And I think that we're continuing to see the development of that, but also our guys learning that they can kind of trust him in moments that maybe it doesn't look on whenever they look for him. So it's been great for us. Yeah, he's been really good.
Keegan, what were the emotions and the message at halftime given the chaos that had just happened?
Yeah, like I kind of alluded to, the goal was to emotionally kind of reset, put that behind us, and start the half the way we started the game. And that was, I think, what we're going to walk away being most frustrated from. You can talk about tactics and little moments in the game and plays and why we concede and how we can do better in certain moments, but it's sometimes it's just the other stuff. It's those intangibles, and as a group, I think we fell short of that in the second half. We're going to be really disappointed with ourselves, and just being able to rally together, bring the same energy, start with the same mentality that it is the start of the game, and it's not the second half after what just happened. It's easier said than done, but that's what's going to eat at us a little bit.
Last one for me. Mike Edwards makes his debut. Maybe not the end result that he wanted, but he's been here for a while. He's worked really hard. He's done good stuff with R2, and finally gets an opportunity in an MLS game.
Really happy for him. Such a great guy to be a part of this group, and I don't think people understand how difficult it is to be around for that amount of time and not quite see the pitch. And it speaks a lot to his mentality, speaks to his character, puts his head down, puts the work in, always willing to do a job. He's probably not in a natural position over there, kind of in a back three and a little bit different and a tough game to come into, but looks comfortable and connects his passes. And I'm really happy for him. I hope that it's the first of many this year and that he'll contribute more.
Keegan, along with Mike making his debut, Connor gets back on the pitch, so does Johnny. As a captain, what does it look like, your message in the locker room, the other guys, to encourage players in those moments and really celebrate them?
It's easy when we have the characters that we do in the locker room. These guys, Connor specifically out for a little bit longer, but Johnny, had been battling a couple things back to back, and also something that people probably don't realize is how detached you are from the team when you are injured. You don't travel with the team. You aren't out on the field sometimes when we train. You maybe go home a little bit sooner because you already get your treatment done. And that can be really difficult mentally for a guy to still kind of stay involved, stay focused, stay engaged, stay and be a part of everything that we do day in and day out. And again, a testament to them, their mentality. They come in and stay longer than they need to maybe sometimes just to be a part of things. And I think it makes that transition back even easier for them. And again, great to have them back. Not the game that they would want to be a part of tonight in the first game back, but they're going to help us tremendously going forward, and great to get more pieces back and just more depth in general for a lot of games going forward.